Tell me a little bit about the Morsefest experience.
Well, it's the single most fun week of my life.
Yeah.
I mean, it was I that's the second time that Neal has gone on record and raved about what I did that week. So I didn't really know Neal that well. Before, had only met him one time before that weekend in person, and he knew what I could do as a vocalist and also maybe as a writer, because our mutual associate, one of my very dearest and best friends and musical partner. I have an album that's eventually going to come out that's just he and I,
Okay.
stuff that we wrote. But Bill Evans, he's the guy that
Right.
assembled Flying Colors and
Yeah.
produced, executive produced it and everything. So he had played, working closely with all those guys. He had as he and I were working on stuff, he would play it, or maybe he was playing it in the background and it got overheard by the guys in the band. But that's how he really knew about me, is hearing Bill and I's stuff. When he was recruiting, trying to put together the Neal Morse band, which, if anybody hasn't listened to them,
Oh yeah,
well,
yeah,
maybe my favorite current band in the world. But
yeah.
when he was putting that together, he was kind of feeling out. He had sort of a short list of of people that he was contacting, and he got a hold of me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in maybe trying out for this band I'm putting together?" And I said, "If I know you are looking for guys who can sing like me, but also play like you." And he didn't he didn't really say a lot to that, but I knew that's what was going on.
Right.
So I said, "Man, I'm so flattered." And I said, "If you ever need me for anything vocally, definitely get a hold of me." And this was, years, probably 5-6 years before he actually finally did. But he's
Yeah.
always got irons in the fire. He's always working on something,
Yeah.
and kept me in mind. And finally, when the right opportunity came along, he did get a hold of me, and I said, "Absolutely." And it was so far ahead of the project. I think it was something like close to a year ahead of time, that I was like, "Well, this is an opportunity of a lifetime, and I am going to be over prepared for this."
Yeah.
And so, for probably 9 months before the thing, I put that full demo of the entire show on and listened to it at least once a day, every day. And so when he jokes about, well, not jokes, but when he reminisces about the fact that I jumped in, I was so excited about it. I got there from day one. He gave me the choice of what day I wanted to show up. I said, "I want to be there for the whole thing. I just want to be there. I just want to
Yeah.
experience it
Yeah.
and everything." And so I chose to go down on the night before day one of rehearsal. Well, a lot of the guys that were super busy, professional guys, could only be there for, maybe some of them, I think, were only there for a day of rehearsal to
Wow.
get their parts down and their blocking and everything. And so there was 4 days of rehearsal where some of the main parts weren't even there. And so a couple of those sections would go by and no one was singing, and I was just like, "Okay, I know this thing forwards,
Yeah.
backwards, and sideways." So I just turned my mic on, and when a part came along and someone wasn't there, I just started singing that part. Never asked anybody. It was just one of those things where I was like, "This needs doing, so I'm just going to do it." And after the first time went by, he was like, "Man, who was that? Was that you, Jake?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, if you need me to fill in for anybody, I know every single part in this thing. Just say so and I'll fill in." And he's like, "Yeah, man, that's great." And so just kind of became, I was the stand-in for who knows how many people, and it just worked out that way. And it helped me to really kind of gel with the guys, with Neal and all the guys there, and made some, just, I mean, I knew some of the guys already, but the ones I didn't know, we would, after rehearsal was over, we would all go, we were all staying in the same hotel, and we would all go sit outside. Oops. We would all go sit outside the hotel drink some beers or whatever, and we, you know, go to the Waffle House, whatever. But it was just this camaraderie thing that I hadn't experienced in a long time, and got really quickly close with a lot of those guys. Ted, oh man, I was because I'm such a big Kevin Gilbert fan, and because The Shaming of the True is my all-time favorite album.
Mhm.
And I knew how that had went down, how Nick had kind of taken it after Kevin died and fleshed it out and finished it for him.
Right.
I was nervous. I was like almost shaking when Nick showed up. He was one of the guys that couldn't be there right away. So when he showed up, I was like, what am I going to say to him when I see him? I am just like such a fan. And he was just the most sweet, humble, funny guy. And his wife was great. And just got to be friends with all these guys. Like, I mean, I was driving Ted. I took Ted with me one night to the hotel after rehearsal. So he was riding with me. It was like a 20-minute drive or something. And we're just geeking out about all the same bands we're into, you know, that no one else knows about. And just playing past the iPod. Oh man, you got to hear this. Oh, that was awesome. You got to hear this. And man, it was great. It was just an amazing week of working with people on a level that you just don't get to work with very much.
Yeah. You know, I've been to Morsefest, I think 5. I've been to 5 of them. I wasn't there for that one.
Oh, nice going.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't. Yeah, I actually didn't make it to that one. Honestly, going to Morsefest, you know, was one of those things. You know, I've been doing classical music so much, you know, as a professor, you know, plus the Star Trek gigs. But as a professor, you know, there's so much stuff that you have to do in order to get, you know, tenure and promotion and everything. But every time I would go to Morsefest, I would go, man, I need to do something like this. I need to do some prog. I need to get something going. And that was kind of one of those real, and I did tell Neal that, you know, Morsefest was a big part of me deciding that, okay, I've done the tenure, I've done all of that stuff. Now I'm going to work on what I want to. And that was sort of how this, you know, sort of got going. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video and for following us with Emerald City Council. And right now we want to hear about your experiences with Morsefest. So in the comments, tell us about your favorite moments from Morsefest that you've experienced either in person or through the live streaming events they've had, or through any of the DVD Blu-ray releases. What are your favorite songs? What are your favorite performances? What year was your favorite? We also want to hear about VIP experiences, friends that you've met along the way, and basically anyone who's had such a positive experience with Morsefest as Jake and I've had. We want to hear about it. Be sure to subscribe to our channel for more information on the upcoming album, and follow us on Facebook, and we'll have more information coming soon.